Welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio. Tonight, the birthday boy, Tony Polanco, host of the Throwdown Show, is once again crashing game night with us.
What's going on, fellas?
And
what's going on, baby?
As always, we're joined by the beanied one there, Gerard.
What is up,
Ferreira.
all my fellow nerds? Big Tony P. Happy birthday, baby.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us.
And then we got the baby face one, Theo Walski.
That's right, the baby. Birthday baby, but it's Tony's birthday.
And lastly, Lion's Mane, Jason Belidio up in the couch.
How's it going, guys? How's it going tonight? Tony, happy birthday, and thank you for joining us again on the couch.
Of course. Dude, by the way, I am loving that shirt right now, bro.
Yes.
I'm loving it.
Oh, dude, he's had that for a while.
Right?
It's
he has.
an oldie but a goodie.
That's a good one, man.
You always come with the good shirts, Jason.
Yo, I gotta rock them. They gotta get rocked.
So,
what's up?
How was the birthday yesterday there, Tony?
It was good. Obviously some things aren't the way it doesn't compare to my last birthday. My last birthday, which was my 40th birthday last year, went to New Orleans. I can't tell you half the stuff I got up to down there, bro.
You just had to say New Orleans, and
bro.
it's all she wrote. Right there.
I've been to New Orleans once, and I never forget every story, man.
Yeah,
and I was only there for 2 days.
Yeah. So was I. I was only there for 2 days, and we were like, "Yo, let's just go." And it's funny because we went on the week before Mardi Gras, right? Mardi Gras happened, and then 2 weeks after that, I could curse on the show, right? Or can I not? Okay. The lockdown happened. The effing lockdown happened after. I was like, God damn, Oh God.
That's
so yeah,
terrible.
so yesterday was a little bit more subdued compared to that. We went to a restaurant out in Long Island, steakhouse, bomb steak, ribeye I had. There was so much. It was 16 ounces. There was so much I had to take. I had to bring some home. I ate that for lunch today. I was good.
There you go.
It was nice, and the rrestaurant was good too for anybody that was worried. Like all the tables were like nicely spread apart. The people that had us in there, they took care of us. They made sure gave us hand washes, all that other stuff. So I felt very, very safe. So it was all good.
Oh, good.
But I had fun. And of course I got very drunk on Jack Daniels, my favorite.
There you go.
So it was good times, man.
And that's the thing is, I mean, it's good to hear that you were feeling safe in that, is because there was this news at I don't remember what restaurant it was in New York, but a waitress just got fired because she's refusing to take the COVID vaccine.
Wow.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Damn. Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was just on the news earlier today. So, but as far as news goes, I do want to start off by giving a shout out to all of those listeners that are in Texas. Tony, you mentioned who your guys are in Texas.
Yeah.
Right now they're dealing with the aftermath of the winter storm that rolled through there that is unfortunately getting ready to target both here for me in Virginia. I don't know if you're going to get part of it, Tony, up there, but
yeah,
we're under a massive winter storm warning starting at 1:00 this morning or Thursday morning. They're expecting up a ½ inch of ice down here where I'm at. But yeah, there's 4 million people without power in Texas. And now they're looking at 12 million people could have water disruption. And they're telling people to stop doing water drip, which it's like, that's just double-edged sword right there, because, you do the drip on your faucet to keep your water lines from freezing. You don't have power to keep your water lines thawed. Now you're going to basically have them freezing up. So this is catastrophic. So, thoughts out to the listeners out there, guys. Hopefully if you are listening us tonight, on your phones or whatever, hopefully we're gonna be able to give you some laughs, give you a little bit of joy in the dreary conditions. If not, please stay safe with your family, stay warm, do whatever you can to keep everybody safe and healthy while you guys are dealing with this.
Sure. I don't know about everybody else, but Jerry's beanie always makes me laugh, so
I'm always prepared.
Well,
His so-called
always
haircut.
prepared.
His so-called haircut.
So I also want to give a shout out to Austin Lee Matthews, who has been on the podcast multiple times. Everybody knows him as Roche from Final Fantasy VII Remake. It was released this week that he is going to be the voice of Azil, the new Fire Emblem Heroes character, which is the mobile Fire Emblems game.
Nice. Congrats on the new job. That's awesome.
That's been doing extremely well for Nintendo as well. It was released as a free-to-play game, and then you just basically buy in to get your extra stuff. And then I also want to give out a shout out to Danny Pena from Gamertag Radio, who we are working to have on the podcast, who's a good friend of Tony's. He just recorded the 16th year anniversary episode, and he did an interview with Reggie Fils-Aimé, who everybody knows Reggie as the old head of Nintendo.
Yeah.
And the interview, once the podcast released for audio, got picked up by multiple publications, and they were writing stories based on his interview.
Nice.
And it was extremely well done. I can't give Tony, I can't give Danny enough enough props on it. You know him well, so I would, you'd expect that from him. I know you basically got a teaser of the audio beforehand. But how's it make you feel when you see the guys in your circle, right, that that are getting these interviews with like Reggie and Phil and all of them?
Yeah, no, it's cool because you see it's like a culmination of all the hard work they've been putting in. Danny's been trying to get this specific interview with Reggie Fils-Aimé for 10 years, and it finally happened. That's all. Like he was just very, very persistent about it. Same thing with the Phil Spencer interview he did a year ago, right? Took a long time for that to happen. And just like that, multiple news outlets are picking up the site. And I told him, Danny, get ready, bro. All these sites are going to quote you because I'm a newsman myself, right? So when I was hearing the interview, I'm like, that's going to be a headline. That's going to be a headline. That's going to be a headline. All the things I predicted were going to be headlines. The E3 thing, the Switch sales, I was like, headline. All of them were headlines, So yeah, so it was cool. But what was dope is, speaking about the interview itself, right? And I told Danny this off air, when I heard it, because I already knew about it months in advance, right? So I got to see the video, and I was like, "Wow, you did the impossible. You made Reggie Fils-Aimé feel like a human being." Because he, I'm not trying to disparage the guy, nothing, but he was like the epitome of a corporate suit to me. He just felt very fake and robotic, right? But then
I can agree to that.
Yeah. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, we got to see him in line when we were at Breath of the Wild at E3.
Yeah.
And he came around, and he was kind of like that suit persona. So
kind of like the larger than life CEO. It was like, okay, yeah, he had his people around him, and I totally get it.
Yeah. So so the interview starts off, and it's him talking about growing up in New York in the Bronx, getting robbed for 50 cents. I'm like, wow. Okay. I was like, because I could relate to that, man. Like, I know, like, I haven't been robbed myself, but I know dudes have been robbed for the dumbest things. So I'm like, and he was going to bodegas. So I'm like, yo, like, so that right there, the New York stories instantly made me go, all right, I can identify with this guy. And then the other thing is, it's kind of interesting because Reggie, he's obviously not a white guy, right? But it was never something that was brought up in interviews or anything. Then, like I said, he was like, yeah, I'm Haitian. And then, Danny and I were talking about it, like, yo, he's the first, like, person of color that runs up one of the big three. And it's like, yeah. So, they talked about that. That was cool. For you guys who don't know, because I'm Dominican, Haiti, and Dominican Republic share the same island, Hispaniola. So, we got that relation. So it was really cool hearing that. And I'm guessing because he's no longer part of Nintendo, he was able to speak a little bit freer than he normally would, which is really cool. So it was about a 46-minute interview. I suggest everybody listen to it. Just a lot of insight in there, particularly about how Reggie, he didn't come from like wealth or nothing. He came like humble beginnings, and look where he rose to, And it's interesting. He didn't get into video games until his late 20s. That's when he finally got into video games because he's older than us. Obviously, he got into it with the Super Nintendo in his late 20s and stuff. His kids are playing it, so it was really cool. And again, just circling back to what you asked me, I in some weird ways I almost feel happier when my friends get opportunities over I do. Like if I get something, I'm like, cool, whatever. I'm so focused on the thing I need to do, right? But when like, my friends get the opportunity, I can just fully absorb it, like really bask in their joy and the triumph, that they have in getting them. So it's always so dope seeing that. And also, on that same thing with Paris last year, he blew up. Like he was already big enough, but he blew up. So it's just so dope seeing those guys and everybody else. Khalif, you had him on the show.
I was going to ask, have you gone down to Times Square to go see his billboard?
I did not because the snow has been stupid lately, so I've been there. But Khalif, that's another guy. I've known him forever. I remember Khalif before he became Khalif. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get too into it, but
He was just caught from down the street.
He was just caught from down the street. And from there, but I don't know if you guys know who Hip Hop Gamer is, right? Because those Khalif didn't exactly like the way Hip Hop Gamer was operating, and then they went on this podcast called the Warzone. Warzone was started by Torrance Davis, the guy who got me into the gaming industry, and him and Hip Hop Gamer, they had a pretty good discussion and stuff. But behind the scenes, Kai and I were talking and stuff, and and I love seeing him, kind of come, from like a unknown guy to where he is now, being on all these shows and stuff. I love that stuff,
Dude, like we were,
and just one last thing, and I also need those guys to keep me in check, because I sometimes forget that I began like that too, and now I'm up here too. And to me, I'm just like, listen, I'm just doing my thing, but it's like, I'm kind of getting opportunities too, so it's just cool. And then circling back, and I know I'm rambling right now, but I'm just,
it's cool, baby.
Very excited to be here, man.
This.
Yeah. And I'm circling back around. And Matt, you told me this, I think it was last month, how you said, ever since the last time I was on the show,
dude,
right?
I blame you. I blame you.
I'm like, bro, because again, that wasn't my intention, but I'm so happy that happened, that the show started blowing up after I came on, because obviously I'm more, I'm a little bit more well known than you. So people like, it was Tony's hanging out. We said, let me go check him out. Oh, cool. Let me check that out. And then other people show up, and it just goes back around. And then I know for a fact, you guys are going to do the same thing. There's one day's going to come, if it hasn't already, somebody who's underneath you, right? They're going to be like, hey, can we get a shot? You'll help them up. Bam. And that's how you got to do it, man. It's a team,
man.
Yeah, I love
you gotta help. And that's the thing, is like, you and I talked about this when, on Twitter and stuff, and that, it was one of those things. You were the last episode that wasn't live streamed. We went live stream right after that on Twitch. We started those little promo videos, so that's why I kind of gave you a little bit of a birthday surprise for you.
That was dope.
And gave you a really good one. Get your picture up there, and instead of just the normal thing, but you talk about it with everything, and Khalif too. It's like everybody started from these like root beginnings, and it's that grind. Some people, it's taken a lot longer to get to some places. Some people, just it catches lightning in a bottle at the right time, and then they can kind of start blowing up. But ultimately, I love seeing the success, like, when you're posting about stuff, but like when Danny in Paris, and like you look at Khalif, it's like he wasn't joking when we had him on. It's just like, it's like the tour to Black History Month for him. He is like on everything. He was just on Xbox, or he was just on, or he's going to be on the Xbox Twitch channel, streaming for a little bit. He's got the billboards. It's great to see that though, because it's, in an age where toxicity is pretty much dominating the headlines, right? It's good to see these hardworking, really good people that are getting recognized for the hard work they actually do, and and the work that they bring to the table too, in their interviews and everything like that. So also
that more opportunities are being presented to all of us and you guys, and it's nice to see that good is happening to good people.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So with that, let's kind of talk about some things. I know Danny, you and I were Tony, you and I were talking about Danny, with that piece. Sorry, I was thinking about the whole Danny piece, because we were going back and forth about that too, on Twitter. It's been a week for Tony and I on Twitter. But Tony is like Snyder Cut.
Oh man.
So
you know what? Before we even get into that, just one last little thing about the Danny thing, and then we could move on to that. Okay, I interviewed Danny about that interview. So I interviewed him about the interview.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like
inception of interviews.
Yeah, like we were just talking, just a regular talk. We were like, he hit me up. He's like, hey, get on Discord, let's talk. So we're just talking, and then he's like, yo, we were just having a conversation. He's like, yo, this would be a dope podcast. So, and he was like, yo, Tony, why don't you just ask me questions? Why don't you just interview me, right? And so I interviewed Danny about that. So by the time I was. You guys also do MP3s, right? So by the time you guys, the listeners are listening to this episode, it would have been up. Gamer Tag Radio, it's going to be video. So it's just fun doing that, because like my interview style is basically, I'm going to tell you guys a trade secret. When I interview people, I don't prepare. I don't. You know, I have a couple of things in my head, maybe, but other than that, I just wing it, and that's what I did with him.
Off
You
the
know?
cuff is always the best, man. Off the cuff is awesome.
I have a
Definitely.
basic like overview, you know, for the guests and stuff like that for when they first come on the show. But after that, it's like we wing it.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. But anyway, I just had to get that. So watch for that interview. It's so dope. You know, me interviewing Danny. That's like the third time I've this is the second time I've interviewed him on his show. Like at the end, I was like, oh yeah, Danny, because I was about to like do a wrap up of Throwdown. I was like, oh wait, this is Danny's show. Danny, take it back, take it back, take it back.
That's awesome.
When's it going up? Do you know?
It's because right now it's Wednesday for us. It's on Thursday. Sometime Thursday, Danny's gonna post it on the Gamer Tag Radio YouTube or his YouTube, but it'll be up. Anyway, so I just had to get that out there because those were just a lot of fun.
So so for those that haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna show the trailer and then we can discuss.
Jeez.
The bell's been rung. Out in the dark, among the stars, the god is dead.
God, that voice is creepy.
Almost like a premonition. I think there's an attack coming.
My lord, this world will fall.
I need warriors. I'm building an alliance to defend ourselves.
How do you know your team's strong enough? If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at it.
You were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes you the rest of your life, find out what that reason is.
They said the age of heroes would never come again.
It will. It has to.
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory.
Isn't that right?
Batman.
All right. So Tony, I want to hear your untwitter thoughts with this.
Untwitter
thoughts.
For you guys who watched The Simpsons, I don't know if you ever remember, there was the one time they burnt down this like it was like a Scientology church or something. A robot was in there. He was on
I remember
fire,
that episode.
Right?
I remember that episode.
Yeah. So it was Christian Science. Anyway, robot comes out. He's on fire, and I'm just echoing his thoughts. Why was I programmed to feel pain? Like, like Jesus Christ. Like, okay. Justice League was terrible. The movie was terrible the first time around. I'm watching this trailer. I'm like, what's different about this? Like, some of the colors are different. I'm seeing the same things. They got Darkseid now, whoopee, but I'm like, I'm sorry. Outside of like, I know a lot of people didn't like it. I like Man of Steel. That was okay. That's the only movie that Zack Snyder did that's an original that was decent, right? 300, amazing, right? Watchmen, amazing. What did they both have in common? He just went he went on the script. He stayed on the script, right? Batman vs Superman was an abomination of a movie. I'm not gonna make this whole podcast about it. I could go off, right?
believe me, me too.
Believe me,
I have so many problems.
We have in the past before.
Yeah. We have.
Yeah.
We have.
But I'm gonna quote my cousin right now. By the way, that's why I was a little late coming here because I was playing Monster Hunter with them. If you guys play Monster Hunter, sometimes those hunts go long, right?
Oh yeah.
They're like raids. Yeah.
You've been on a Monster Hunter kick lately.
Yeah, dude. So he said Batman versus Superman, watching that movie, is like playing Cyberpunk on the base PS4. I'm like, yeah, that's
Ooh. Ooh.
yeah,
that's a level of pain right there.
That hurts.
so we're getting this Justice League movie.
I think we just got our title of our episode.
Use it. It's yours. It's yours. Use it. I'm gonna tweet that out too. But it's like, bro, so 4 hours of this agony. I had enough with Wonder Woman 1984. That was 2.5 hours already too much. Like,
oh man,
this is gonna be 4 hours. And I guarantee, and I did not like Wonder Woman 84. At least that movie was kind of fun. This is not gonna be fun. It's just gonna be 4 hours of just dreariness, you know. And I gotta watch my boy Superman be. By the way, I love Superman. Absolutely love Superman. I don't want. He's supposed to inspire hope, man. Like, this guy's so dreary and stuff. Like, that's how. And here's the thing. I always said this: Henry Cavill, great Superman, bad Superman movies. Right, just like Brandon Routh, right? Brandon Routh, great Superman.
I totally agree, and I've said the same thing before. I think Henry Cavill is a great Superman.
Yes,
but he hasn't been he hasn't been given the opportunity to work with the right crew, the right writers, because I feel like they were kind of on their way with Man of Steel. Because I appreciate Man of Steel.
Yeah,
I thought it was good. The rest, I agree, just a dumpster fire.
Yeah, well said, man. But yeah, that's my take on it. It's like, I'll watch it just because I kind of have to.
I'm too curious.
You know,
too curious.
I'm gonna have to. But it's like, honestly, like when you say like a dumpster fire, it's more like, to me, it's like calling it a mail strike in Worms, and wondering where all the mail bombs are gonna drop. To me, that's how kind of bad this is, because it's like, I agree. Like Justice League, I watch it. I can be entertained by it depending on the mood I'm in. I don't particularly like Affleck as Batman. I've never liked him as a Batman. Poor choice.
I still like him as a Bruce Wayne.
He's
not Batman.
okay. He's great as a Batman and Bruce Wayne. He was misused because he should have been an older version of Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Correct.
They should have brought someone with the same age range as Cavill.
Yeah,
correct.
Because then you got all the trio within the same age, and then you can build from that.
Yeah,
instead, they went to the comic, where it's Batman versus Superman, and
which
Batman's
is
all aged.
decades
It's
from Cavill's age. It's they admit.
So
I don't want to go on about it. Dawn of
Breathe, Jerry, breathe.
That movie made me so angry, because I love those comics, especially the Death of Superman.
Yes,
and they were older, and especially the Dark Knight series. When they fight, it's an epic fight, but they're older. It's just it frustrated me. That one movie really frustrated.
So Jerry, let's make you feel a little better, because Mortal Kombat, the Twitter account, has been on a
I'm more hyped
PR.
on it now.
So they've been starting to show all the characters in like a movie poster-esque format. The new trailer is going to drop tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. But you've got Scorpion. You've got Jax.
Love the actor they chose for him too. Yeah. He's awesome.
You actually have Raiden being more Raiden.
Yeah.
You've got Liu Kang.
Oh wow.
Looking like Liu Kang.
Nice.
You've got Sonya Blade.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Shang Tsung.
The original.
Oh,
the original.
Wow.
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah,
that is.
I'm so glad they brought him back.
Yeah, that is key, man.
That's awesome.
Like,
he
the legacy
one
kind
that
of.
stood out.
Cole Young. I don't know what character
is he. Fake Johnny Cage? Like, who is
that's what I'm thinking.
So this is the thing. This is my prediction on Cole Young. They said that he's a new character.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably going to be like somewhat with the main cast. Think of him as like the eyes of the audience. Like what he's going through, we're going to go through with him. That's why I think he's going to be. He's a new character.
Kung Lao.
So we got Kung Lao, Melina.
Nice.
Love it. She's looking awesome. Yeah.
Kano.
Yup.
Kano.
I know, right?
My boy Sub-Zero.
Yup.
Wow.
And then they kind of have some of the set photos that they've kind of shown off.
Oh, that looks good.
Nice.
Where you get to see Kung Lao and Liu Kang together. Jax. So I have a lot of faith in this version, especially since they're going R-rated, which
Yeah.
means we should be getting real fatalities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Don't
at
get
least
me wrong.
something more like
Yeah.
blood
Don't-
ripping,
Right.
like arms getting torn off. I don't even know, like just
real
like, no tomorrow.
finish him.
Yeah.
Finish
Oh
him.
my god.
Yep. You know, I mean, honestly,
Whoopsie.
I mean, the original Mortal Kombat movie still holds a piece, you know, because I remember seeing that opening weekend in theaters. And
The
at the
first
time,
one.
it was
The
the
first
first
one.
one. The
First
first
one,
one.
yeah. That was
We-
epic.
no,
That was
there
epic
is no
back then.
second one. That
Yeah.
I
doesn't
have gone
exist.
on record on how much of a dumpster. You want to talk about dumpster
Annihilation.
fires? Annihilation.
So bad.
Honestly, you put Annihilation versus Justice League side by side, and it's like it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's more of a dumpster fire. So
I would probably go
It's just which
Justice
one
League.
smells worse.
I don't know about that.
Annihilation's pretty bad.
Yeah,
It's-
you know
it is
what?
really
You know
bad.
what? I just shat on Batman, Superman, and Justice League. Those movies are better than Annihilation. I'm sorry, Annihilation was so bad. It was.
It
so
was.
cheesy.
It was.
At least the effects
mean-
look good in those movies, not in Annihilation.
Like Annihilation was
Right.
the diarrhea.
Yeah,
I mean-
that was terrible. That was
The
absolutely
animality, and he's turning into like some
Oh,
CG
God.
wannabe baby dragon.
And
Yeah.
I don't
like,
know.
yeah,
So-
just everyone. Yeah.
So
Yeah, but here's my question to you guys: are you a little bit worried though? We know the history of video game movies. First Mortal Kombat movie aside, and maybe the first Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil
First
aside,
one.
not the other ones.
Not the other 6.
Yeah, not the other ones. Like we've had some bad video game movies, right? But at the same time, Sonic was pretty good. Even the Pokemon movie wasn't that bad. Do you think
which
we're finally
Sonic's getting a sequel?
Yeah, do
Yeah.
you think we're finally gonna reach
I've-
like a video game movie
So-
renaissance? You know, like we did with comic movies 20 years ago.
See, I think we're at a different time where I think the whole MCU, even the DCU, all the comic book movies that have come up throughout the years, I think it really started. Hollywood started taking a lot of these projects more seriously after the Marvel and DC universes, because now we're getting a little oversaturated with comic movies, and now we're trying to venture off to new other things, which now people are starting to look at video games, and they're starting to really take it serious. I mean, look at the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
That has a lot of hype, and
Look at Borderlands.
it's Borderlands is getting a huge amount of A-list actors. I think they're really starting to take it serious that these movies can make money, but we got to put a little bit more money into it.
And I think
because they saw the effect of fandom for like the Marvel and DC, and how playing to the fandom helped make those movies successful. Whereas like all the older video game movies, they just kind of like try to do their own thing just with the character rather than paying attention to the story.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I think Mortal
Well
Kombat
put.
1. I think Mortal Kombat 1 was kind of like one of those ones where everybody saw it. It kind of caught lightning in a bottle, so to speak, and it was good for the times, for the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah,
really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you have movies like Mario Brothers.
But such a
Mario, okay,
I
Mario
still
Brothers was
appreciate that
crap.
movie, man. It was
So
it's
bad.
terrible.
Crap. It was
It's terrible.
bad.
Terrible.
Freaking
Yeah.
But it's-
shoes
but-
and
but
everything.
dude,
Oh my god.
It's one of those movies, like it's still one of those movies that like
Yeah.
like Big Trouble
But-
in Little China. I appreciate it.
Not
And
me.
Bob Hoskins.
No.
No, it's just it's
Dude,
total
it's-
bad.
I was
No.
a kid when I saw it. I thought it was bad.
Yeah.
That lets you know how bad it is. Like
I-
when you're
yeah.
a kid, you know, you don't have kind of like the
Um,
Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren. I was like,
Right.
what is this?
See,
What
I
is
also, dude, I still watch that movie for Frank Langella.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Which
He's
okay,
because he's the best.
here's
He's
my
the
thing,
best
it's
in
like-
that movie.
like like Tomb Raider, right? When we got that,
Which one?
the first one,
Which
the
which
original
one-
with the original with Angelina Jolie in
There
it.
you go, my man. Because
At
some
that
people
time-
forget about
at-
those movies. Yeah.
At the time, right, she was the only one that could play that part, really.
Yeah, she looked like it. Yeah.
And she did look like Laura, and they kind of kept it kind of a little truer to the background, but then you went Cradle of Light or whatever it was, the second one, and
God.
it was like,
But
oh
that
my
was the
God.
problem. They
But
really didn't.
here's, I
Around
think-
that time, they didn't have to because her
Where-
star power, no matter what, was
so
going to make
big.
the films, successful.
Yeah.
But I think with Mortal Kombat, the reason I am so excited for it, even though I am slightly cautious because of Annihilation, is that you had all those short films a couple of years ago that were fantastic.
That's right.
And they're kind of going,
yeah.
And they're kind of going off of that, you know, what was built there and what they saw, what was really good about it, and they're carrying it into film. And they've paid so much respect to a lot of the characters, and they're trying to just get it right, you know. So
well, it helps sell the movie.
Yep.
The season 1 and 2 help sell the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
this is the
absolutely.
direction we're gonna go. Just watch these series. It's kind
but
of.
I think we have to be cautious though about video games, and I don't want them just to be snapped up as properties. Going, hey, let's grab that one because it's popular. I mean, frankly, I don't want a Fortnite movie.
I was just about to say that, bro. I was just about to say that.
But this is the thing, though. But this is the thing, though. This is the thing, though. Get ready for that because we're asking. No. We really are. Be ready for that because. We're asking for more quality of these video game movies, and we're getting that slowly. Once we finally hit that stride, like that MCU and DCU stride with those movies, they're going to come out of the woodwork. Fortnite movie, it's going to be probably animated or something.
Yeah,
get ready for that.
Dude, Soldier, really don't Soldier. Don't agree with Jerry, please. You don't need no guilty pleasure movie. No. Hope you're feeling better,
a guilty pleasure movie.
So okay, let's talk about something good, better than DC right now, which is WandaVision. Tony, are you caught up through you're caught up through last week, right?
Yes, I am. And dude, we're not gonna spoil nothing for you guys in the chat. But I just realized, guys, what's going on, people in the chat? But yeah, dude. Okay, the first like 3 episodes, I was like, I don't know about this show. The whole Believe It to Beaverse stuff. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But episode 4, what happened in episode 4? I was committed. I'm like, okay, this is dope. And then the last episode we saw, like if you guys read the comics, you kind of know where things are going. You know?
But also not, because I feel like they're doing it so well. I'm still on the fence of like who the villain is.
Yeah, because I don't think it's
Mephisto.
Wanda. Yeah.
No, it's not Wanda, but it's Mephisto. Now I'm hearing
there's a lot of theories coming out.
Maybe Ultron.
Yeah,
because that's true. Because he did end up in the comics figuring out a way to alter matter and like shapeshift.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in Avengers Assemble, the animated show, he actually took on a human persona so he could get Vision's body back. So that's a theory now that is going around. But I still think they are kind of moving things along in that House of M type path, though. Still, because
I think that's what they're merging. I think they're merging those storylines. I think I think Ultron's gonna be the villain. I'm kind of on that train, but the House of M thing, they're kind of still staring at that.
Ultron is going to show up at some point. Yeah, whether it's a flashback or not, because we don't know how, but James Spader is listed for having 1 episode, and he is the voice of Ultron.
But this is also how good the show is, because it could be a flashback or it could be a commercial.
That's right.
Yes. Well, they've been having those weird commercials. Yeah. That's why I really like the series. It keeps me on my toes, and I'm still asking questions.
So real quick, who do we think the engineer is?
I think it's Ultron.
No, that she's going to meet on the hill.
Oh, the engineer? I'm hoping it's Richards. I'm hoping.
You think so?
I don't, but the thing is, I don't think they'll make that big of an announcement.
Yeah, that's too big.
Or if they do, like, it'll be like a video chat. Like, I don't think we'll get one of the actors on set just yet.
According to Elizabeth Olsen, though, it is a Luke Skywalker type cameo that is going to be happening in the last couple episodes.
Right.
So we know Reed Richards could be one,
or it could be Strange.
I'm thinking more it's Magneto.
Whoa,
that's been a big thing on social media too.
Because
Magneto.
Here's the thing: is like you look in the last episode, right? Quicksilver was talking about all these different things from their parents, right? And I did watch Days of Future Past the other day, and then I did watch X-Men Apocalypse, which that's another one that was kind of But Quicksilver shows up, right? And he's like, yeah, Magneto's my dad. He talks about, you know, some of the different things growing up, and it's starting to kind of play in that direction. But we do know that he is not really, I mean, Pop, you know how Pop labels their characters and stuff like that. They did come out with a Peter Maximoff in quotations on the box. So they're not even saying who he actually really is. So it'll be interesting to see who that could be. It could be Magneto. It could be, like you're saying, Reed Richards. I hope it's somebody that's going to help move things forward into that next phase of, you know, movies. Whether it's going to be X-Men.
Well, the next episode is slated to be an hour, and we're getting close to the final
I think it's an
episodes,
hour
'cause
for
only-
each. I think it's an hour for each one going out now for the last couple of them.
Oh, good.
So, and
I mean,
half an hour is always too short for them.
We're going
here's
to
a crazy
10
one.
episodes, right?
What if it's James McAvoy showing up
That would be sick.
That would be
as Professor
insane.
X
That'd be
because
awesome.
because he's just there to help, you know, as a, you know, help her with calm everything down and
Right.
and whatnot, because we do know at some point she is part of the X-Men.
And if we can't have Jean-Luc, I'm totally happy with McAvoy. Both of those actors playing
Yeah,
that
they did
character did great.
Yep.
Yeah, I've
All right.
always felt that this show is like, you know, ever since
Mhm.
all these events started happening, that it's their way of introducing mutants into the MCU. Because I was always questioning, like,
Well-
how are they going to pull this off? Because you know, not to spoil too much, but that Pietro, his power doesn't come from a power stone. It comes from being a mutant.
Yep.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so there's an
Correct.
actual legit mutant right there in the MCU. So it's already happening, you know.
And
yeah,
we already know Monica Rambeau. She's now essentially a mutant now.
She's already
Yeah, she
altered.
is.
Yeah.
She's already been
Yeah.
altered. You know, they even mentioned it. She's been altered twice.
Twice. Yeah.
And
You
think
know?
about this: that field is spreading, right?
Yep.
What happens if it spreads to the entire planet? We get a whole planet. You know, we start getting mutants.
And that's where people are
happens.
thinking that the Fantastic Four could be introduced. Is that could be the cosmic power that hits the Fantastic Four? But I don't think Kevin Feige would really want to go away from their origin story.
They're going to give
do
them their
that,
own
so
movie.
I think,
really.
yeah. See, Fantastic Four, it's easy to introduce them into the MCU. It's like, hey, they're explorers that went to space, they got their powers. That's easy.
Yeah.
Mutants, which are supposed to have like
Yep.
thousands of years of history, that's going to be a little bit tougher to introduce, you know.
Mhm. Yep.
And going back to even Homecoming, they even kind of set that up too for the Fantastic Four, because they said, oh, some scientists already bought up the building, so they're going to reuse the Avengers building, and that might be
Yeah.
Baxter now.
Mm.
Yep. So speaking of Avengers and all of that, EA announced this week that the game is going to be getting a PS5 and a Series S, Series X upgrade coming out. That's going to get faster load times and better detail. I think going back to our talk, you know, us talking about Justice League, it's how much polish can you give a bad game? You know,
I mean, you
So
can
bad.
spray paint. You can spray paint crap gold, and it's still crap.
Tony, are you going to go back and fire it
No.
up or?
No,
That was quick.
That was so
Dude.
quick.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys that game is the epitome of I'm only playing this for review, and when I finish it, I'm never touching it again. I got the review code for PC, 16 hours. I'm like, campaign's done. I'm done. That's it. I handed in my review. I never touched the game again. It was like
I bought it, like I pre-ordered it thinking
Yeah.
I was going to get it and like it. I did the demo. The demo was so bad that I was like, I'm not even going to touch the real game because the storyline.
Yeah,
is not
I canceled
compelling.
my pre-order after the demo.
Yep.
It was that
So-
bad. Yeah.
Talking about
Yeah.
talking about canceling things. Good segue on that one too, Jerry. Let's talk about Mr. Harrison and Stadia and what he decided to run his mouth about. So he stated that the Microsoft acquisition of Bethesda was partly the reason for shutting down the Google Stadia studios. Now, it was more so, if you read more into the article, it was more because of how much money it costs to acquire Bethesda. But you know what? I agree with what Andrea Renee was saying from What's Good Games on Twitter, is that she even flat out said, it was like, dude, that's why you brought people in and you built internally. I mean, Tony, you've been around this for a while. We know whatever Harrison touches implodes.
Yeah. he has the anti-Midas touch. Everything just here's the funny thing, but that began with the PS3 because he was around for the PS1, PS2 era. That was fine, right? But with the PS3 era, like a curse was put on him. Man, he must have upset a witch or something.
Wasn't PS3?
That,
wasn't the PS3? Wasn't that where he was actually put in charge of the project though?
Yeah, he was.
Versus being like more like secondary
right.
with PS1 and PS2. He was actually given the helm of 3, and we all know how bad that launch was.
Yeah, so we had the PS3. We had the Xbox One. Remember TV,
Yep.
sports, right? They had that. He went to Atari. That didn't go anywhere. So as soon as he was announced, as being the main guy for Stadia, I'm like, this is over,
Yeah.
And it's funny because last year I reviewed all of the major streaming services, right? Stadia, GeForce Now, Project X Cloud, Shadow, and there was and Luna, right? Reviewed all of those. Stadia was the worst one because you have to buy games for $60 a pop, and they're not really yours. They're streaming. Like the other services, you pay a subscription and you get games, like an all you can eat buffet, right? Like that's how it should be, And here's the thing: Stadia itself, right? The actual service is good, right? Game stream fine. You get a decentish selection and stuff. No problems with basically no input lag. Even the UI is really streamlined. Nothing wrong with the service. It's just the business model is bad, and it just goes back to Phil Harrison. But going back to this, I'm still kind of confused as to how what Microsoft is doing relates to Stadia. It just seemed like, oh wow, we can't afford to buy these studios, so we're just gonna dip. I kind of don't really understand that, but because my understanding is this is like, okay, so what does it matter what these guys are doing? Build your own studios, do your own thing. That's how I see it, right? So it's just weird, or maybe they're just going, you know what, we just cannot compete. We're just going to use that as an excuse and just bounce.
That was that's what I tweeted out. It was like it's just basically Phil needing an out, right? Let's just blame that. But I think part of it was the fact is, right, because we still don't know, and I think Paris Mandip being right is that Elder Scrolls might just be the Zelda for Microsoft, right? And that we may not see another Elder Scrolls on any other platform other than Microsoft. And I think that might be what they're looking at, is because you look at Bethesda and their games, between Doom and Elder Scrolls and all of those, right? Is if they stay housed in Microsoft, then that's a good chunk that is not going to be available to Stadia. And you're going to have to build something from within to compete with that. And looking at the metric, the dollar amounts, the bottom line to spin up another studio to do something like that is going to take a lot of currency. Especially when you look at Microsoft, the talent they've acquired to be part of the the coalition or the collective or whatever it is, the one that's doing Perfect Dark. That internal studio. So they got some of the guys from Naughty Dog and Sony Santa Monica. So that may be it. But I think ultimately Phil saying that was an out. That gave him an out to say, well, we can't really compete. We're going to try and do this now. And I think it's bad because I think Stadia, we could all say it in the beginning that we thought Stadia was going to collapse anyways because of that business model. If they had gone the subscription route, like xCloud, like you're mentioning, even like Luna and all that, then they might have actually had something really decent there that could really work with it. But you're paying a subscription and $60? No.
Because they had the hype. They had the hype. Everyone was talking about Stadia, or everyone was questioning like, oh, how's it doing? Or what are they offering? They had the publication, but like you said, their model, it killed them.
So let's talk about PlayStation, since we were kind of talking about Naughty Dog and stuff like that. Is they got a class action lawsuit filed against them this week.
Not surprising.
The Chemicles, Schwartz, Kreiner, and Donaldson Smith, the law firm that handled the Joy-Con Drift class action lawsuit, filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of people for the DualSense Drift issue and the sticky buttons. So I haven't personally experienced any of the drift issues with the DualSense. I know a friend of ours, friend of the show, Blazar, he has experienced a sticky button issue, but ultimately it's like, I haven't heard anything about drift issues. Have you, Tony?
feel like it's been isolated incidences where it's like not super common.
No, yeah, because this story came out, I believe, about 2 weeks ago, right? Because that's when when we talked about it on Throwdown, and I that day I went on Twitter and I asked, "Hey, how many of you guys are experiencing this issue?" I think out of like a couple of hundred that responded, maybe 5 people said they did. So think about that. That's not it's not that widespread, you know. Like everybody was like, "Nope, I'm fine, I'm fine, fine." So it may not be widespread, like. But I'm not going to dismiss it either. You know, like those people obviously are experiencing it, but it just seems to me like these lawyers are just doing typical lawyer scumbag stuff where they still blood in the water and just going in.
That's enough for a lawsuit?
Yeah, it's really flimsy.
Those are like returns or exchanges at best.
And then you got to think though, I mean, honestly, when you got something that's mass produced and mass producing COVID nonetheless, right? It's all new. It's all brand new, right? We're still in that first realm, you know, that first quarter really of it being out there. You would expect at least a 5 to 10% defect rate on a new product on a new production line. That's that's a given with electronics, period. It doesn't matter if you're talking, you know, home receivers, your speakers, your TVs, whatever, right? You would expect on a new product, on a new production line, at least have some defects. So to your point, that should just be a return. Now, that being said, though, if it is more widespread, I haven't seen any of the numbers. And of course, they'll probably say, well, you need to prove it, or they'll get Sony to go, well, we'll repair it for free, whatever, like they did with Nintendo. You know, I mean, how much have we heard about the Nintendo Joy-Con issue for drift? You know, we haven't heard about that in a while now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But we all know it still exists. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We know Sony is a lot harder to push around than Nintendo too. I mean, Nintendo is no pushover either when it comes to lawsuits, but you know, when it comes to PlayStation, they don't mess around either. You know, Sony.
But also Nintendo really hasn't had a lot of experience with lawsuits. They don't get a lot of that.
Well, and what was worse is Nintendo was already working on.
I would like it's less common with Nintendo.
It's less common because their service is just like, hey, like we want to make sure you keep buying our $60 games, you know, like and getting all of our products that we never put on sale. You know,
we're going to talk about that here in a minute.
So you know, they just want to keep that going where it's like, you know,
that
thumbs up me, all around.
You know, that's so true because that reminds me of a Rick and Morty episode where Rick runs out and telling the family like, hey, the Zelda limited edition 3DSs are on sale. We got to buy them up because they're going like for $300 online, which is so true. And their stuff rarely gets on sale. And they know that. I mean,
come on. Like,
that's why their customer service really is great. Nintendo's a good company.
I'm going to swerve this a little bit, but I mean, like, do you know what's going on right now at McDonald's? Like, people are going,
oh my God, the Pokemon Happy Meal boxes.
Yes.
Going nuts Pokemon with those Happy Meals, man.
Oh,
like,
man.
Our McDonald's nearby has a limit of 3 Happy Meals per car.
Yeah.
Like you can't buy more than 3 Happy Meals. You got 4 children, that's it. One of them going to fight to the death.
You want to, you know, bad food to death, you know. So let's talk about Microsoft. So we had they had a couple of things that came out this week, and let me pull it up for us here. And the first was we did start to see screenshots now of the interface for the iOS iPad website that's going to be used for xCloud. So the Verge put this out here. So it looks pretty streamlined to me. They're going to start testing it. Tony, are you going to be doing part of the testing for that? I'm assuming Danny might and Paris might, but
yeah, I mean, I haven't like heard about it, but if there's some invite, I'll be down with it because I did test the Project xCloud when it was in beta. That was really cool. So I would definitely like to check this out. You know, do like a kind of follow up on the review I did. You know, it looks cool. I thought here's the thing about Project xCloud. I thought game wise, you know, library wise, for obvious reasons, the best one. You know, out of all the streaming services because it has Xbox games. You know, so I'm curious to see even though there was no real lagging, it's just it took a long time to load. If they could fix that, it'll be great. I'm looking at just these titles right here. They got Batman Battle Chases. They got all this other stuff. Portal. They got some good stuff here.
I would do it for Halo.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, Halo and Forza is what I would do it for.
Yeah. Well, I see Yakuza. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Yakuza. There you go.
There you go. 4 and 5.
Yeah, and then they had the announcement as well for the headset.
Ooh.
So they are going.
This is the one thing I got to say about Microsoft, and they've had this over PlayStation and Nintendo. Their accessories have always looked so clean. Like the moment you told me about this headset, dude, I low-key wanted it because they just make their stuff look so cool all the time.
It does look better than the PlayStation Platinums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I was gonna say, is this their
looks
answer to the
clean.
3D Pulse headset? Like, I guess it is, right?
I think
Kind of
so.
close to it.
Yeah. That's dope.
So it's going to be coming out March 16th. It's going to run for $100, which is the same price as the PlayStation Golds.
Yeah.
Roughly, it's a standard headset.
So
price.
this is kind of their promo video.
Yup.
So I got to give it to Microsoft.
Is this the first Microsoft brand wireless headset? Because I know there's other been Xbox wireless headsets by third party, but is this Microsoft's first
normally
one?
it was Turtle Beach that did a lot of Xbox stuff.
Yeah. But
and a lot of them still weren't 100% wireless because you still had to like plug them into the controller.
Most of the time they were wired, yeah. But even some of their other accessories, like their camera, the way they've always streamlined them to look cool. And PlayStation always did theirs to look like aesthetically for their consoles or what they're doing that year. But I have to give it to Microsoft, man. They always make their accessories like you want them.
And when you look at their app, like the accessories app too, right? And you look at how much you can actually change within the headset, that is way more than what PlayStation really gives you, even when they have the headset.
That right here, where you can actually like tailor how you want everything to sound, that is actually a really big boost. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still just a headset, like
it is.
I like the like smoothness, how it's very just boom. Xbox.
They're good with aesthetics, yeah.
It's very clean,
good and streamlined.
Very, very clean.
Yeah,
but I think if you were to get it, it's literally just for that like customization of like different volume pitches, etc.
I mean, we'll see how it sounds. I mean, honestly, I think Xbox, players deserve to have a headset that is along the lines of like the golds and the platinums that PlayStation players have had for a while.
Other than third
looks
party,
like,
other than having,
an actual in-house created,
exactly,
headset.
That it's tailored to them, and that actually is stronger than the third party because Microsoft always had those like janky like sticks with earphones on them, and it was just terrible. Like we could sell back when me and Jerry were working together, we could sell like the third parties way better than
easy
Xbox ones.
Easy. And if they glowed or had LED lights, boom,
right,
it was over.
It was
but I mean,
after glows.
Then they're like, oh, like what about the Xbox ones? I mean, if you want to just get like the $15 ones, that's just is there. Yeah, why not? But they didn't put into care for it.
Tony, what's your take on Microsoft actually doing something in-house now for the first time?
No, I think it's great. Like I said, I think this is their answer to the 3D Pulse headset. By the way, you ever notice how Microsoft, every time they have like a new product, they always show you like, this is what all the pieces look like inside. Now we're going to form it together, right? You know?
They do that. Yeah.
Form it to make, Voltron.
Yeah, exactly. So so I think that's dope. Because you're right. The like even the Elite Control, that wasn't made by that. That was another company that made that, right? I believe.
Yeah.
So this is cool that it's them. I want it. I want that headset. I'm looking at this commercial. I'm like, bro,
right?
Give me that. I want it right now. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft's actually focusing on like putting their brand and their product in first, rather than have the third parties just come up and be like, you know what, we can make the money off them because they're not putting that effort.
Yeah, and you know what? It's really nice to see like Microsoft or Xbox in this case, like really focus on games again. I remember like because Xbox One was announced,
I hated it.
Like literally, it was like gaming was like an afterthought. And I remember when I bought the system, I didn't buy it at once. I bought it like 2 years later, and I was like, I'm playing around with the UI and stuff, and I started I started playing games, watching movies. I'm like, this is a way better media player than it is a game system. But when I was testing out Xbox Series X, I'm like, there is no question what that is. That is a game console. You know, so that is so dope. And then now we're getting like these accessories and stuff. So that's fantastic. Like,
and I think that's to your point, right? That's you look at the contrast in that, and that's what Harrison and Matrick started. They wanted to be an all-in-one unit to where you could plug in your cable box and everything. And that's where I think having Phil Spencer take back over, who had been with Xbox for ages, worked his way up through, and he is a games guy.
Yeah.
So I think
that's why their whole slogan, like even when they announced that, like we're coming back.
That's right.
This is about games. We're coming back about games, and like it's working for them.
So let's talk about the third of the Power Three, so to speak, when it comes to the consoles, and that's Nintendo. So first and foremost, there was an article that came out over in Japan. That it was an interview with Shintaro Furukawa, who is the president of Nintendo. He thinks that the Switch is in the middle of its life cycle. Though when you think about it, it came out,
2017.
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, March.
So, we're in really year 4 now of that. So. Yeah, so I mean, going on, he's looking about 8 years for it. I mean, there's still rumor of a Switch Pro, which they're, Nintendo being Nintendo, saying, well, probably not, but who knows? I mean, they probably do. They usually do a mid life cycle refresh on their product line. They did with the 3DSs and going with the XLs and whatnot. So, but they had their Nintendo Direct today. So before we kind of give our opinions, let's kind of just give the rundown of kind of what they announced today. So you had they started off with they started off with Pyra from Xenoblade is going to be the next Smash character. So I know that's a letdown to a lot of people out there, but we'll see. Fall Guys is coming to the Switch. Outer Wilds, Basil. Yeah, you've got Outer Wilds, Famicom, Detective Club. 2 of those series are coming to the console. Samurai Warriors 5, Legend of Mana HD. You have Monster Hunter Rise on March 26th, which I know, Tony, you are a huge Monster Hunter
fan. That's a big announcement for a lot of Monster Hunter fans.
You know what? I should say I'm a big Monster Hunter World fan. There's a difference between the old Monster Hunters and the new Monster Hunter. And I'm not exactly a fan of those old ones, bro.
Right. But that being said, along with Monster Hunter being announced, you also have the collector's edition, deluxe edition rather, of the.
I have to say that
cool. Looks pretty.
The Pro controller looks sick.
This is, I mean, just the console looks pretty as well. And I know Darren from the Rupees, I was talking to him, and he's planning on getting this the second it comes
of course.
But to your point, that Pro controller
looks sick.
Sweet.
Yeah, with the dragon.
That is one. I'm not a Monster Hunter fan really, but that's such a pretty controller. I may just have to get it. You had that. Then you have Mario Golf Super Rush announced for June 25th, which
that's
honestly,
gonna be fun.
I played the crap out of Mario Golf on the GameCube. Had a lot of fun with it, so I'll probably get that.
Yeah.
Tales from the Borderlands You had Capcom Arcade Stadium, which I downloaded it after the direct, and they give you 1942, the top down plane shoot 'em up. You know,
the arcade.
Yeah, Capcom game.
Now, here's the thing: is to get everything else, you'd have to pay $40 for all packs, or B, it's $15 for each of the 3 packs, and they're based on decades. So you'll have like 89 to 92 is like all the fighting, you know, Final Fight, Street Fighter, and all of those. So honestly, you're paying $40 for another Capcom collection again. You know, no hate on Capcom, Jason, but honestly, there's some decent titles in there. But to charge $40 for a bunch of games that we've had emulated and re-released, I don't know how many times.
True.
Not the greatest.
It depends on what the games are, because
you
know for a fact that there's going to be like 2 major titles that you're like, oh, I really want to get those.
Yeah,
I'll go buy the Street Fighter collection for it though. I'll spend $40 and get all the Street Fighters versus
not specifically Street Fighter though, but I mean, like, you know, there's going to be
King of Fighters,
like Purge.
Rage.
I just gotta say,
like
Mo Chocolate just slipped into chat, and he is on his Sora for Smash.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Mo. You're probably not going to get Sora in Smash.
Sora
is not going to end up in Smash.
You know, we love you, Mo, but
Disney going to say no.
Right, exactly. So you've got
it's called Shulk.
So you had Stubbs the Zombie. You had No More Heroes 3, Neon White from Annapurna, DC Superhero Girls, Plants vs. Zombies, Miitopia. Now, I'm kind of excited about it because we all know, everybody that watched the podcast knows I play the crap out of Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
So with it, we are getting Mario stuff for Animal
Super
Crossing.
Mario themed items are coming to your island.
So excited for this.
Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary themed items are coming to the Animal Crossing New Horizons game. Familiar items like the Super Mushroom and the Question Block can be ordered in-game as furniture items. So place them however and wherever you'd like. You can also place 2 warp pipes. Then use them to travel between locations on your island. Hey, why not try recreating the Mushroom Kingdom?
Selfie.
A free update for the game launches February 25th. After downloading it, Super Mario Bros. Items will be available via Nook Shopping starting March 1st.
Oh, wow.
Keep an eye on the official Animal Crossing Twitter account for the latest information.
I guess we know what you two are going to be playing for a while.
Dude, for sure.
I hope you continue enjoying life on your island.
Out my island. Plan it out. Start fresh. Some stuff going on. So I told him I was going to consider getting a Mario 3D World for some inspiration.
So here's my thing. The only beef I have with that announcement is the original Animal Crossing had all of that, like a lot of that stuff already in the game. Plus you had the ability to get the Master Sword, the R-Wing, you know, a lot of other stuff. So it's about time they actually bring actual Nintendo stuff into Animal Crossing. That being said, I am going to turn my island into a little mini mushroom kingdom and build out a Mario level within my island. So I was already in the process of retooling it anyways. So I was like, I think I'm going to stop this, start rearranging. But we'll see how that goes. So after that, you had Project Triangle Strategy, which is a tactical RPG. Looks a lot like in the vein of like Final Fantasy Tactics, spiritual successor with like Octopath Traveler graphics. It's coming from Square Enix, going to come out in 2022. There is a demo that is out right now for it. I've already downloaded it, kind of fired it up just a little bit to look at it. I know Soldier First Class, kind of like our unofficial 5th member of the podcast sometimes. He's already downloaded it and he's kind of working up a video for it, but I think it looks great. You have Zynga, who's working on Star Wars Hunters, which who knows what that's really going to be.
I'm actually excited for that. I heard third person open not open world, but open map. I'm down. I'm down for that.
You had Knockout City, which is just basically looks like a chaotic version of Dodgeball. World's End Club. They did announce a Hades physical release. That is going to come with a soundtrack and an art book, which, Hades was originally a digital only. They announced the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection.
Nope.
Which is
throw it away.
Sigma 1 and 2, and then Ninja Gaiden 3, and all the DLC. Now it did come out.
The migraines are already coming back from seeing that. I can't do it again. I can't do it.
And then they did announce later on, after that from Koei Namco, is that Tecmo rather is it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Steam as well. They announced the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion pack, which is going to have 3 different phases, kind of like Breath of the Wild did. They're pushing Bravely Default 2, which launches in a week.
Nice.
Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, Saga Frontier Remastered, Apex Legends coming to Switch on March 9th.
Remember that.
Now, to those that are watching it and will be listening on this weekend, is that anything you have done on Xbox and PlayStation will not carry into the Switch version.
That is correct.
So you have to start all over. If you want to unlock all the characters, it's going to be the extra amount there. They're going to give you double XP. They're going to give you level up to level 30 on the current battle pass, so you can kind of catch up a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Skyward Sword HD, which I know, Mo, you were kind of excited about. We're a little I never played it on the Wii, but here's the thing we were kind of talking about before the podcast is that they did remap the buttons. But here's the problem with that is it's a motion control based game. So they moved the right motion controls to the stick. So
to the right analog stick,
to the right analog stick. So talking about what we were earlier with the drift issue, they were already having a drift issue.
That is the button version. If you don't want to go with the Joy-Con, that's the button version of the game.
Yep. Right.
I was very underwhelmed with this direct. To be perfectly,
but I mean, at least from a business standpoint, it's smart of them to do it since you got the Switch Lite. Because you really going to exclude anybody with a Switch Lite can't play the game?
Correct.
Yeah. As well as
assign a button. Just assign it as a button.
I mean,
but I'm old school.
If you just have the old school button, like you're removing that immersion that they try to do with the motion anyway. So
true.
At least with the direction stick, you can say which way you're going to be swinging, so you can kind of combo things.
It's like Okami, the same thing.
Now that being said,
I think that the direct though was not too bad because
we got the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons.
Nintendo's
I will buy these
for their own. They're going back to their roots, man.
Are they going back to their roots though? They're going really small.
But no, they're going back to family friendly, where everything that's pretty much coming back or it's retro or nostalgic. It's got family value.
But I feel like
it's
family
not,
friendly
it's not
has
like
been
these long,
not
drawn
recent,
out games.
but long, the past couple years. It's been really family friendly, especially
but they play to your strength, man. Are you gonna put a Gears of War on Nintendo Switch? No, you're not gonna put a Cyberpunk.
So really quick, Jerry, I may have to have you the second these are able to be pre-ordered at GameStop, go into GameStop there in Phoenix when you go pre-order yours and pre-order me a set.
I'll do it
because
I'll probably be low-key. I want these.
Those look amazing.
They look cool.
Pretty badass.
And those will be coming out July 16th. And then lastly, Splatoon 3 is announced for 2022. They did during the direct kind of say, hey, Breath of the Wild 2, we're working on it. That's all we got to tell you right now. So overall, I know, Tony, you were pretty much low key on this anyways.
Oh, no, I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
Nintendo's fantastic. This direct was the greatest thing ever. No, dude.
I was going to ask you too. Yeah. What did you think about the final 2 announcements? Because that's supposed to be their big finale, right? What did you think about that?
What was it? Skyward Sword? I don't know.
It's Skyward Sword and Splatoon 3.
Yeah, don't care. I
right?
really don't. I
didn't care about
man.
Splatoon at all.
Yeah,
I was happy about Skyward Sword because I never finished it on Wii, so it just gives me an opportunity.
Like,
it's still not that big.
Yeah, you guys know me, man. I'm an honest guy. I can't be here like pretending I'm like so I love Nintendo as much as Sony or Microsoft. They're just not a company for me, man. I got the Switch. If it wasn't for the fact that I have my Switch inside of a case, it would just be collecting dust. It's like they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like again, I'm hearing you guys, and you did a great job covering it, but I'm like, whatever, you know. By the way, that's the way I am on Throwdown. I always have my man Chris talk about it. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna check off.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
You know,
two of my favorite series of all time, you know, my top 5, right, is Zelda and Metroid. Yeah, and it's always gone back to, and that goes back to Super Nintendo era when my first real taste of them was, you know, Link to the Past and Super Metroid. I, as much as I do love what Nintendo has been doing, especially in the age of COVID, right? You know, they're just knocking it out of the park with a lot of things. I think they really missed a perfect opportunity for the first direct really since E3 to say this is everything coming out, because Sunday is the 35th anniversary launch of Zelda.
And we got
later this year, you've got Metroid. You had an opportunity, unless they're going to do a Zelda specific direct sometime, I would say the beginning of April, because we do know Mario 3D All-Stars, the whole collection, right? That's going to be available till the end of March. And then it's going to be broken apart, I would assume, or they may delist. Who knows what they're going to do with it. But, yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. But I think ultimately, they missed a big opportunity, because they could have just said, hey, guys, yes, we're doing Skyward Sword. Here you go. Which that's fine, because a lot of people have asked for Skyward Sword on the Switch because of the Joy-Cons, right? But you could have done a Majora's Mask, or not Majora's Mask, but a Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess collection, much like you did with 3D All-Stars. Said, here you go. And that would have kept everybody quiet on Zelda for a long time.
I would have been a lot more excited for that.
So we'll see. You know, Nintendo, like I put it this way, it was the most Nintendo Direct they could have ever done. You know, it is Nintendo. They go to their own beat, you know, and it's what's made them, for the most part, very successful, is because they do go with their own path. They don't try and do what Microsoft and PlayStation are doing, which we know, I mean, they're one-upping on graphics. Nintendo has always been, hey, they've always been segregated. They've always been more of that family couch co-op type of thing, which, you know, they're still kind of looking at that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. So that being said, so Tony, what have you been playing lately other than Monster Hunter World?
Yeah, because we're in that point right now, you know, after next gen consoles launch, when there's nothing to play, right? So I went back. Yeah, they did a new patch for the Division, right, on PS5, 4K 60 frames a second. Went back to that, and I finally got the platinum in that, because I've had the game since launch, right, playing it not on and off, like literally every time they drop a new expansion, I'm always on there. I'm looking at my trophy. I'm like, oh wow,
damn, you got the platinum for it too.
Yeah, I got the. So as I look, I'm like, yo, I'm only missing like 5 trophies. Let's do this. So me and my boys, we jumped back in there, got that, and now we had that itch, because you know we don't really play. You know, me and the guys on Throwdown, we don't really play too many games so often, because we have so many wildly different tastes in games. So we got back together. We started playing. We're like, man, this is fun. What do we play next? So we're like, hey, we didn't finish off Iceborne, Monster Hunter. So now we're back on that.
Oh, nice.
So it's been fun, man. And it's kind of cool playing these games, PS4 games, on my PS5, because they load up so fast. The frame rates are really consistent, you know. And it's so that's what I've been playing. Those two. And I recently reviewed Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which I loved back in the day on PS3.
Nice.
Fantastic game. So I've been dipping back into that. And because I started playing that, I went back to Streets of Rage 4, which is I call that my COVID game. Like, remember how everybody saying, oh, Animal Crossing's the COVID game. No. Yeah. For me, Streets of Rage 4, bro. That and Doom Eternal. Because, like, I'm telling you right now, blasting demons away, very cathartic. When you're stuck in the crib.
Ripping them apart.
It's been fun. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. Monster Hunter, dude. I love me some Monster Hunter World. That is the game I played the most last gen. 330 plus hours, like, because I just kept coming back and back and back, grinding and stuff. So much fun. And what's crazy about Monster Hunter, I've always wanted to get into those games. So I'm like, wait, I love kaiju and you're hunting them, but it was always on like, DS or whatever, like, PSP, and you just had to like do these crazy hand contortions to play these games, the claw. You old school Monster Hunter fans know what I'm talking about. Yep. So when then now it's World, and I'm like, okay, this is legit, and we've just been playing the hell out of that. So that's been fun, and I'm hoping this will carry me over until March, because March seems like we're going to get some games. Going back to Nintendo, I will be checking out Bravely Default. I thought Bravely Default, the first one, was fantastic, but I will be playing it handheld because I tried to play the demo of it on my 4K TV. Bruh. Can't do it, bro. It's like those graphics look bad.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded the demo downloaded on my Switch now. I haven't fired that one up yet either. I never did play the first one, so I don't know what to expect from that one. But
Matt, and check this out. You were talking about how they're not doing anything for the 35th anniversary of Metro, right? Seemingly, okay. Nintendo is porting everything over to Switch, right? Can we please, Nintendo? I'm begging you, please port Samus Returns from 3DS to Switch. That would be I love that game. That was the last game I bought.
I would say Samus Returns.
Yes.
And we also need to get a port. You can leave it exactly how it is, just port over the Switch, but give me a Link Between Worlds.
And Ocarina of Time 3D while you're at it. Do that too.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. See, I'm not a complete Nintendo hater. There's still some no. Yeah. But so that would be dope. So I'm like, dude, because backstory, the first Metro game I ever played, right, was The Return of Samus on Game Boy, right? So this is a remake of that game, and it's brilliant. It's fantastic. So but you have to play it on 3DS. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, we need it on Switch. So you're porting everything under the sun. Basically, all the games on Wii U are now on Switch. Can we get
right?
It's like, come on, yo, just do that. So
I think we need to get Samus Returns. We need to get Link Between Worlds. God, I think honestly, another one that I would love to see is another classic SNES game come to the virtual console, which is SimCity. We still haven't seen that yet either.
Yeah.
And that was part of the launch lineup for the Super Nintendo back in the day. So Nintendo needs to, I hope they do Samus right for the anniversary. Especially when it was Namco was doing so badly with Metroid Prime 4 that they said, screw you, Retro, come here, fix it. And they scrapped the whole thing and they're rebuilding it. So I really hope they do Samus right. And I think at least for the anniversary to tide us over, give us like Samus Returns, but also give us Metroid Prime Trilogy. I will absolutely play with Joy-Cons just to do Prime 3, because that was honestly, the motion controls for Prime 3 were really well done. They were extremely well done. But honestly, I just want to play Prime 1. And don't give me the Wii version controls for Prime 1. Give me the GameCube controls where we're using the sticks the right way, not having to point at a screen and change your thing.
The Wii version was trash.
Oh, yeah, it was so
bad. It got hit hard, too, in critics. It was bad.
So, Theo, what have you been playing?
I've been playing some Apex Legends with you guys, which has been pretty fun.
We're on Apex Legends now, yeah.
It's been we experienced the noob of Theo last night with quite a bit.
Yeah, who are you playing as?
A quick tip to the players out there: don't throw down a dome shield around your sniper while he's lining up a shot.
Dude, it was bad. Okay, Tony, you play Division, so you kind of know, really, if you got a sniper, don't get in their way. Let them do what they need to do.
I played some Apex Legends when it came out. I know how that game works. Yeah,
I'm sitting there. I have a headshot lined up. I pull the trigger, and he drops the dome in front of me,
and it stops the shot.
Stops the shot, and that squad
from the inside out.
And the squad ended up wiping us.
Whoa,
and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
I instantly in my head, like if you've ever seen those TikTok videos, it's like, this is the moment when he knew he fucked up.
And let me put it that way. After that game, he never played with Gibraltar again.
He was like, no, not doing that again.
That's funny.
Some Apex Legends, some Destiny 2 still with Beyond Light. The new season's just started. I'm not too big of a fan of the recent season. It's a lot more grindy than last season, but I'm having a good time.
Not bad.
Jason?
Oh, Theo, did you play it on PS5 on Destiny 2?
I've been doing PC.
Oh, PC. Okay, so forget about it. You're already way ahead of us. You know, I'm over here flexing. Yeah, I got a PS5. Like, I got a PC. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I've been playing Destiny 2 since it first came out.
Yeah, no, but it's really because I've been playing Destiny since it first came out too.
Oh yeah,
and the PS5 version is really nice, especially like 20 frames a second on Crucible. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
you know,
it's so nice to have that.
Sounds so spicy. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So sick.
Jason,
finished up the first Phoenix Wright just yesterday. I'm going to finish off that trilogy. You know, like. I really dig those little murder mystery kind of games and stuff like that. Other than that, I've here and there touched Final Fantasy, here and there touched Division, not as much as I wanted to. Been trying to collect more drop mix cards. Khalif.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Khalif.
All Khalif's fault.
Yeah,
all Khalif's fault.
Khalif.
I saw that.
Where did you find all those cards
too.
though? Where'd you go get those?
So like eBay, Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Like
Oh
all
my
over
God.
the place. I offer up, had a few. So
It's like Pokemon for him. Gotta collect
oh
them
my
all.
god. Oh
That's
my
so
god.
funny.
Like I kid you not when I say like I just dropped an obscene amount of money within one day.
Tony, have you ever heard of this drop mix before?
No, what is that?
So drop mix, it is literally a virtual, or it's a card game, but it is a music making like DJ game. So pretty much each card has like a vocal, a drum, piano, guitar, whatever. And it is part of that song. So for example, one of the ones they have on there is like Childish Gambino's Heartbeat. So you could play like the vocals on it, on the drum part of it, or like the guitar, whatever part of it, and then you play different cards and it'll make a mix of those 5 cards. So like you can play it like a one-on-one battle. We play party mode where everybody draws cards and you gotta put cards down, and it makes this like crazy beat. And once in a while we just throw freestyle and you just throw cards around and listen, and you mix it up, and it sounds hilarious sometimes they sound god awful. The fun of it is literally just getting these things that mash together, and like we had like 24 karat magic with Disturbed,
Jesus.
Like
man.
Disturbed?
that,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
just like, and you're just like, what the heck? And then we always put the Carly Rae Jepsen "Call Me Maybe" on once in a while.
Oh my god.
With like the dumbest things, and we're just like, this doesn't sound right.
Oh,
like
that's
sometimes like
funny.
this actually sounds pretty boss, and so I've been
So
playing that on Fridays.
Jerry, what have you been on?
Obviously, Apex Legends with you guys. I'm at you
Who's
guys.
your main? Who's your main?
My main is a Mirage. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're sticking with the.
I'm sticking with that dude. Yeah. His special like cloning himself just totally helps me run away if I'm low on health.
Theo, what were you maining, Theo? Or are you still
I'm
choosing?
maining Lifeline. Right now.
Lifeline? There you go.
Mhm. So yeah, Apex Legends. You guys were talking about the whole lull going on right now. I'm embracing it because I'm trying to get
Because
through.
you can hit your
I can
backlog.
do my backlog. So I'm gonna finish Cyberpunk tonight or tomorrow.
Jay's
I
gonna
only have
finish the
that
game.
First of all, okay, you know what? I blame you, Matt. You always
Me?
always
Hold on.
mention that I don't finish games. I always finish my games.
I've only mentioned one. There's only one I mentioned.
Yeah, you keep
Final
harping on
Fantasy
Final
7.
Fantasy. And yes, I didn't finish it, but I'm going to finish it.
Did you finish
Okay.
it?
I didn't finish it yet, but that's part of my backlog. I'm going to do it.
I'll defend you, Jerry. We know out of all of us, I am notorious for not finishing
Yeah.
games or even buying games and not starting them.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been playing some
Newman,
NBA
hold on. Newman brings up Sekiro as well.
Yep.
But
No, but yo,
different
You
game.
did finish FF7 at least.
Anyway, yeah, but more so, I mean, come on. The reason we harp on it a little bit is because we know Soldier First Class, we know John, we know Austin and Bree and all of those guys. So we know enough of the voice cast that you should finish their game.
I'm gonna finish it. I'm like, I have one mission on Cyberpunk, literally the final mission, and then I'm either gonna go to Final Fantasy or back to Valhalla because Assassin's Creed has been sick. It's been a lot of fun.
I forgot to pick that up.
How many hours are you in, bro?
In Valhalla,
yeah.
When I got like hard into it, I think I already put in like 60 hours maybe.
So you're just starting then?
Yeah, yeah, I am. Oh, no joke. There's so much
you, Tony.
Yeah. No, I that was the first game I beat in this year, and I got the platinum for it. It took me like 150 hours. I was like, oh my god, this is too much.
There's so much, and then, dude, did you see the new free DLC, the raids?
Yeah, I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
And
I love raiding, man, on that game.
It is fun. Newman, it is fun.
Yeah,
Newman, it is Jerry just making excuses again.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah, so I've been on Apex.
Man.
So I am maining Horizon.
Yeah.
Okay. I've settled in her. I love her abilities, and I mean, Jerry and Theo have watched. If I get a black hole laid down, I can wreck some squads.
Yeah.
So I love that. Still working on Miles Morales' second playthrough for the platinum.
Nice.
I just have to finish that and get the 100 hit combo and all the platinum for that.
I haven't even started.
I am 60% into the second run through.
Nice
with everything. So I have everything on, all the abilities, everything's unlocked. Max, just keep increasing the levels.
Matt, can I say something real quick? Because you guys will like this story, right? Before that game came out, Paris and I were very vocal. We're like, yo, what's up with this game? It's not going to be all that, And we both had to take on Twitter, eat massive crow. That game was awesome, dude. That game was fantastic. I'm glad I was wrong. I'm like,
Paris,
some people,
Paris the most.
Yeah, Paris
he took more of it.
Yeah, because he was even more crazier than I was about it. Because I was just like, it's some DLC game, whatever, But it's legit. Like, I'm like, that game is. I said this. I'm like, this game is better than some actual games.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, Jerry, have you actually finished FF7?
No, not yet.
Okay, so Newman points out at this point.
I'm on chapter 18.
Hold on. So Newman points out at this point he's going to find a PS5 and beat FF7 before you finish it.
No.
Damn, bro, that's a challenge right there.
That is a challenge.
This is how long he's been on it, though, Tony. This is how long he's been on it.
That is true, actually. Yeah.
I'm like, come on, last year, man. What the hell?
Yeah. Jerry got it.
I've procrastinated pretty bad. Yeah.
At release.
At launch. At launch.
At release.
Yep.
Wow.
It came out in March.
And almost a year later.
Jerry,
with
man,
COVID
you gotta step it up,
lockdown.
brother.
I know.
Right?
I do.
I mean, you gave them enough crap for delaying the game as much as they did. But you're delaying finishing it.
You know what? You know what? It's payback. Payback. I'm taking my time. That's why. Thank you, Theo. I'm taking my time.
All right.
Boom.
So are you just playing it really slow to by the time you finish? No. So by the time you finish it, the second part will come out. Maybe that's what you're doing.
Yes.
There you go. It's a smart man.
Tony, come on back, baby. There we go.
I got you.
Don't give him more excuses.
Yeah, I know. I really do have to finish it.
Outside of that, though, I did pick up Hades.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah. That was a
Switch.
pickup for you.
It was on sale for $20.
Oh, nice.
And oh my, was it worth that? I honestly, if I had known it was this good, I would have paid full price for it too. Now granted, like Jason, where he's like, hey, it's free, I'll take it. Hades is awesome. It's kind of like a Gauntlet or a Diablo or a Torchlight, kind of like that dungeon crawler. However, when you die, you got to start all the way back at the beginning. But I get the concept on why, and it's super giant and it's a great game. So it's one I definitely recommend picking up if it's still on sale.
What is it, like Rogue Galaxy or something like that, where it has the death leveling mechanic?
Yep. So That being said, I do want to, shout outs to Blazer as well, who, for all those that, check out the YouTube channel, watch the videos. Everyone sees those little promo videos. They hear the new music that we've been playing before everything. Blazer redid our intro music for us. So thank you to him and Anti-Fragile Records who allowed him to do that.
Thank you, bud.
So yeah, I want to say though, everyone out there in Twitch land that's been hanging out with us tonight, thank you guys for crashing in tonight, as well as those that are listening at home when release this weekend. Thank you as always, guys, for crashing with us. We wouldn't be doing this without you guys. Same thing like Tony and his podcast too. I mean, we wouldn't be here without the fans, Absolutely. And to say that we've got fans all around the world is, it's still huge to me that you guys want to tune into our shenanigans. We definitely appreciate the guests as well. Tony's always a blast.
Always.
And
so much
fun.
fun.
As always, man. And by the way, that's what it's all about, man. Like at the end of the day, I said this too, like it's all about the fans, right? Like you're doing this for them. And and I'm like, because I think it's so cool. Like I'll get like tweets and stuff from like dudes from New Zealand, Australia, Africa, like all over. Like you listen to us in the Philippines, like it's crazy, So it's a lot of fun, man, because it really is a global community. So
it is. So we've got some big announcements coming up that we're going to be announcing here in a couple weeks. So it's exciting for what we're going to be doing as well for the fans as well. Some new stuff coming down the pike. So as always, guys, thank you for crashing game night with us tonight. Make sure you subscribe to us on the podcast platform of your choice. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you can see the video archive that. Follow us on Twitch. You can come watch us live when we have guests on, because we've got a lot of guests that we're lining up right now. Danny's just one of the first that are we're lining up for the next couple of weeks coming up. So as always, guys, be excellent to each other. Stay frosty.
And that's right, all my fellow nerds. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Tony P, again, baby. It's always fun to talk with you, to debate and hear your views. Once again, everyone, show your support for all of the platforms. Time's Up, Black Lives Matter. This is still a fight going on, so just show your support. Let's spread that love and kindness, and let's keep going the direction that we're trying to steer towards. And be safe out there.
Definitely be safe. As always, social distance when you can. If you have the ability to get those vaccines, they're starting to roll them out. Unfortunately, how there's that big conundrum in Texas, so it might be delayed a little bit, but still keep up with it. We are at the end again. As I always say, we're at the end of this whole episode, this pandemic. So please still keep your masks on, stay safe, be kind, rewind, because, everybody, especially you guys out in Texas, rooting for all of you guys. It is chilly out there, and it's quote unquote freezing from a Californian point of view. So, just
freezing. You don't know freezing like Tony and I
from a Californian point of view.
Yeah. You don't know freezing. You don't know freezing, bro.
Freezing that 40-degree weather. Oh my god!
I can get on the bandwagon now.
40,
no, you can't, because you're in
bro.
Phoenix.
Right?
It doesn't help your case at all.
I know. Yeah. But it was a lovely day today.
We'll keep it light for you guys. But again, Texans, please be safe. You guys are all bottled up because of the whole COVID and the blackouts and the storm and everything. So be nice to each other, please. Be safe. We can make it through 2020 part 2 or 2020 extended remix. We're almost there, guys.
Tony, you got any sage like partying
Yeah, no, I mean, again, just shout out to you guys for having me on. It's always a lot of fun. Again, I just love being here because of the nice, chill nature. Reminds me of being on my show. I just relax. It's great, very professional, you know, and I love the wiggle room as well, which is always fun. Shout out to everybody in the chat right there, you know, chilling.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, thank you for showing the support. And, you know, thank you to all you guys listening at home, watching, wherever you are. You know, it's always appreciated whether you guys listen to us right here on Crashing Game Night or Throwdown, wherever you listen to us. Appreciate it. And also, you know, got to do that plug. If you want to follow me, I'm over on Twitter at, you know, Romudeth. That's ROMUDTH in my bio. You're going to see links to all the places I write for. Primarily these days is Laptop Mag and PC Mag. And you could also check out Throwdown on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. That's Throwdown Show. We air every Thursday and Sunday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Thursdays is like this show. We cover all the daily news that happened during the week, and then on Sunday we answer your questions, which is always a lot of fun. And
yes, it is.
You know, we're you know, just like these guys, we're working on some new things. You know, we're always cooking up schemes and stuff. Always. So you know, some giveaways coming as well, so which is always a lot of fun. And
nice.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun, man. And you know, I wanna, you know, we'll talk off air, you know, maybe do some collaboration, which is always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And and just like you guys say, you know, for you guys listening, please stay safe. Things are crazy. I call this 2020 part 2, the revenge. You know, like it's still going. You know, or
totally
to keep,
agree.
Or to keep it video gamey. You know, 2022. You know, like
Final so that's why you gotta put that right. You gotta put that extended remix. You know, like. Yeah, 1.5.
Exactly. Not 2022, 2022. You know, -2.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I want to give another quick shout out to Chris Seeley and Carlos Romero, who are my panelists on Throwdown. They're also both in Texas. Chris, unfortunately, we haven't been able to play Monster Hunter with him because he has no power, which sucks. And he's from New York, so the cold's not bothering him. It's the lack of power that's bothering him. You know, but Carlos, he's in El Paso and they got snow, so you know they're serious. You know, so
like, that's insane.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, are the White Walkers coming? Like, what is going on here? It's like, right, coming to the south. So you know, sometimes we joke around. Like I joked around too. I was like, yo, man, it's like 40 degrees. You guys got an inch of snow. That ain't nothing, bro. It's still 15 inches. We didn't do it. Didn't bother us. But in all seriousness, that's fucking people up. I'm sorry about the language, but it's messing things up. Fine. So it's like, please stay safe, and you know, hopefully things will restore, and hopefully Texas, like, yo, fix your infrastructure. Like, I know you're not used to that stuff, but come on, yo, it's like that's unacceptable, you know. But just stay safe, people. That's all I gotta say about that.
So I know Theo normally sends us out, but because Theo missed us last week, he didn't actually get to see what we did for Newman as the send-off. So Newman did say TTFN last week, but Newman, on your behalf, to send us out because Theo missed us last week, Tata from Newman. Good night, everybody.
I like it.